Hi, I'm Debbie, and welcome to Divine Destiny with Debbie. Today we're reading for November 25th, 26th, and 27th, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First of all, I am getting this out before Thursday, so let me wish everyone who is celebrating today a very happy Thanksgiving. Even though the world in itself may feel like it's going a little bit out of control, we still live our lives, and we have more than we think. So let's count our blessings instead of count the things we no longer have or that we don't have. Okay? But we need to keep striving, and we need to keep going forward. Anyway, you know that for the weekend I am going to be using my Bradley Valentine deck. This is Angel Tarot and my John Holland Psychic Tarot and Oracle deck. I will pull one from my Doreen and Grant Virtue cards, Angels of Abundance, and I will pull one from my Emily Anderson Crystal deck. Now, if this is the first time that you've been watching, you tuned in, or if you cross-watch, go down there and there will be a link, a timestamp, which bypasses this introduction. This introduction is tagged on to all of the videos. So it is the same video, but if you go to the timestamp, which follows this video, right after, it then starts the main astrological reading. Okay? Okay. So for this time, though, I am going to be using my Waite Rider traditional tarot deck, and I will pull one from my Colette Baron Reid, The Good Tarot. Now, I have prayed, meditated, and infused all the decks with Reiki energy. Just remember, though, this is a general reading. It may or may not resonate. Take what you like, leave the rest. Have some fun with it, okay? I am an intuitive channeler. I open myself to higher power. Whatever the message is just comes through, and I have learned I don't have to make sense of it. You do that for me, so thank you. Take a moment to do the like, share, subscribe, and clicking on the bell for notifications. You really help me out by doing that. You help to override whatever these weird algorithms are. I have many people that say they can't, I post all the videos at the same time, or I make them live at the same time. And people will say, I can't find this one, I can't find that one, though they're in the playlist. It's just, for some reason, I think that my videos get hidden. My husband even said he couldn't find some of my videos. So if you're having problems, keep the like, but unsubscribe and then subscribe again. Okay? Do the same for the bell. Now, the planetary movement is pretty much the same. When there's not a lot of activity, it doesn't mean that things have stopped. It just means that things are more focused. So, we have Jupiter that's going direct in Pisces, though it's still that stationary direct right now. And it is the energy is very, very intense right now. We're not going to have a lot of change up until, the moon always is changing, but we're not going to have a lot of change up until maybe, I think it's the 30th. So right now for this weekend, it's just a very, a momentary type of energy, but it's still a very strong energy. It's like things aren't necessarily popping, but they're not necessarily backing down either. So let's see what we have for a universal reading with the Waite Rider Traditional Tarot. Let's see what we've got going here. Here we are. I like to do a 3-card cut. If you noticed, I had a young lady practice her henna skills on my hand. This was freestyle, so quite pretty. Here we go. And it does help if I put my glasses on, which I do not know where I put them. So let's see what we have. That's when I get in a little bit in trouble, when I can't quite read what I am presenting. I usually have that with the 7 and 8 of Pentacles, but let's see what we have. I will get them on for the other readings. Here we go. First card, and anything reversed has a strong energy. First card is, okay. So we have the Page of Swords. Now this was reversed, stronger energy. The Page Court cards, which the Page is one of them. I like to teach as we go along so you can have a better understanding also. Court cards have a dual energy. Page's underlying energy is our Earth, and that's our Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo energy. Money, job, career energy. So the page, whenever you see the page, right now, right there, it's going to affect something to do with our Earth energy, our tangible energy. This is the Swords energy. This is the air energy. This is your thought processes, thinking ahead, making some plans. Now, the Swords or air energy is the underlying energy for the kings, okay? So just always know that. But the Page of Swords, so something's changing with our job, with our money, our career, maybe even with our homes. It seems the sword has a very fast, the sword energy is like cutting through things. It's kind of making there can be some clarity with the swords. There can be some difficulty with the Page of Swords. So it's not necessarily an easy energy, but it's a necessary energy. It needs to clear things up in order to, I am kind of getting a reset type of energy here, or I'm hearing the word reset. It's kind of getting things into a baseline almost. That's what I'm feeling with this card, okay? So we have the Page, there's these little, I can't quite see, these little flies or little birds around in the background or flies. The Page, the wind is blowing. He's not necessarily holding he's not necessarily brandishing his weapon or his sword per se. And he's not, he's kind of backing a little bit, but he's getting ready. I kind of feel like a baseball player here. He's getting ready to make the swing. So that's what we have with that one. And okay, so on to our next. Here we go. This is the Four of Cups. So now this is reversed again. So 4 has a stability to it. It also has a leadership, and it has a, stability, leadership, organizational energy to it. The Cup energy is our water energy. It is our Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio. We are now in Sagittarius energy. We are now in fire energy, but we have left our Scorpio. So that's still a little bit there, but not really strong. The strong one right now is that Pisces, we have Neptune in retrograde in Pisces, and we also have Jupiter just kind of sitting there watching us in Pisces also. Pisces has a lot of mystery. Pisces delves deep into the psyche. Pisces looks at what it is, our deepest wishes and wants, along with that Neptune, and Jupiter wants to grant some of that. However, with the Four of Cups, you can take a look. He's looking, this person's looking down at the 3 cups, kind of not necessarily with satisfaction, not necessarily really liking it. There is a divine energy. Here's a little cloud coming with a cup saying, hey, look at me, look at me. I liken the Four of Cups to kind of that in between, that not necessarily happy times, but not necessarily bad. It's just this, this things have to change. Things are changing, but I'm not ready for the change. So there is this change energy here, but it has a lot of in between. Now, all this person has to do is just look over, and there could be an option or an opportunity for him, or he just may not be ready for it. He wants to cling to the past, even though that is not necessarily satisfying to him anymore. So let's go on. Our next card. Here we go. This is reversed again. So everything was reversed. And this is a major arcana. This is a 6. 6 is the number of man, the energies you put into something. This is the lover energy. This is always a little bit different. Sometimes the lover energy can be, that there is love coming. But the lover energy is a little bit on the odd side many times over, at least when I'm reading it. It is about relationships. There can be some miscommunication with some relationships. Maybe this relationship is kind of in an in-between stage. It needs to grow. It needs to move. It needs to accept the opportunities. It needs to let go of that past. Maybe there's some challenges in this relationship, challenges that have to be overcome. So this could be, this is a relationship type of energy. It is major arcana. It is how much energy you put into the relationship. Now, this could, again, this is a universal reading, so it's not necessarily personal, but it's always, it can be a little bit personal. How much are you giving into whatever this relationship is. What are you trying to get out of this relationship? So, and again, are you looking for the opportunities? Are you kind of staying in that past? Are you just kind of being stubborn yourself? So interesting energies with that one. Okay, so the weekend, again, challenges, job, money, home, still kind of happening. Are you ready for them? Are you ready for these challenges? Again, kind of this in-between stage. Now, the cup energy, this cup energy has come up quite a bit in the last couple of months. It's kind of like we're waiting. But then when the opportunity's there, we're not ready to grab onto it, but we're not ready to let go. And there's all about the relationship energy here. Now, the other thing about here is we have the man looking at the woman looking up at the divine, and the divine kind of spreading himself or herself very equally, okay? But there is the sun shining, so there is always possibilities. There's always healing with the lovers, the possibilities of healing, the possibilities of relationships growing too. Okay, let's see what we've got here now with our Colette Baron read. The only energy we did not talk about is the fire energy, which is our Aries, our Leo, and our Sagittarius. Sagittarius we are now in. It is passionate, burning, determined. It's fire energy. It is like, what do you do with fire? You might try to contain it. But it can also burn. It can also keep you warm. So there's good and bad with all the energies, all the signs. But the fire energy can be very consuming. Okay, but we do not have that here. Let's see what we've got with Colette Baron Reed. And here we are. And here's the page of fire. So the page again. So I told you, the page, underlying energy is our earth energy. Fire is our Aries, our Leo, Sagittarius energy. The fire energy is also the underlying energy of the night, and the cup energy is the underlying energy of the queen. So, that's, like I said, they all have underlying energies. But this is the page of fire. This is something to get you moving. This is something to get you passionate about. The fire energy is something that makes you want to make some changes, makes you want to get, like I said, it gets you, it's a passionate energy. It's something like, so there might be some challenges. You might not necessarily be, you might not be ready for the changes. You might want to cling to the past instead of going to the future. There is this healing energy, possible healing energy should you choose it with relationships. But at the same time, the page of fire makes you pop, makes you run, makes you go after it. So this could actually be what stimulates the cup energy to look over and say, I want some changes. Okay? So interesting energy here for everybody for this weekend. We will see what we will see. Please comment and let me know what you thought. What did you read into this? But as always, too, remember the like, share, subscribe, click on the bell. It really helps me. You really help me, and I appreciate your support, and I am thankful for your support. Happy Thanksgiving, should you celebrate. Hello, my Libras, and how are you? How are you doing? Oh my goodness, it feels like you're just really pushing forward, and I don't know, I just feel like there's a little weight on your ankle, on your back right now. It's like you're kind of trudging through Jello right now. Not necessarily easy, but not necessarily, hey, Jello, it's not easy, but it's not necessarily an impossible task. So let's see what we've got going for my Libras here. Higher power, what do you want to say to our Libras? Again, I kind of get this, like you're here and you're just you're moving, you are making progress. It just doesn't necessarily feel easy, or it doesn't feel like you're cutting through the way you want to cut through, but you are making progress. Anyway, let's see. Higher power, what do we have for my Libras here? So 1, 2, and 3. 3 cards face down. This one's reversed. Here we are. First card is 3 of Earth. Three, you know what part of that thing is, that when you're feeling like you're sludging through and you're not necessarily getting out the way you need to get out, or you're not moving as fast as you want to move, my Libras, part of that is because you're not doing the things you love, not doing the things you want to be doing. There's a lot of other people making a lot of demands and a lot of pulling at your time, okay? And it's kind of like, you're like, and again, we're going to be doing Thanksgiving, and there's a lot of wonderful things, and you want to, it's like when you want to make all of this stuff, this is like your creativity is coming out, and then people are saying, well, you need to be doing this, you need to be bringing this, and it's like, no, I don't want to do that. I have all these creative ideas, and you're just like, you're not letting me do what I want to do. Well, my Libras, it's like, do what you like. Do what you want to do. So we have that 3 energy. There is the celebration, there's the creativity, there's the power 3. We have that earth energy. That is our Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, money, job, career, tangible energy. Now the three of Pentacles, I see that couple there with, with the person, the friar, the priest, whatever. And, and I always feel like there's a divine provision with that 3 of earth. I know the 6 of earth gives you the same, but there is like this divine wisdom, divine provision. The 3 of earth in these cards are about really being creative, doing what it is you love, really just letting go of I feel like letting go of the expectations that others are putting on you, okay? So the power of creativity, recognition for high quality work, be a team player. And you're like, well, be a team player. Yeah, because you are being you, okay? You are not necessarily, and again, I know that if you're working, there are expectations, but you can do it in a different way. You can do it in a very blossoming way. Okay, next card, unity. Well, there's your rules and regulations. You know that this is Unity Sandalphon. This was, Elijah, the prophet in the Old Testament. Elijah's an interesting, very powerful, very strong communicator with God, and yet many times was afraid, almost of his own shadow. So it's an interesting energy. Did more remarkable things, and then was like, oh, no, I'm not going to face that woman. I'm not going to face that energy. No. So interesting. So not necessarily confident. I don't know, confident in himself or in his higher power, not sure. But unity, 5 change energy. Unity is that Hierophant, the rules, the regulations, the rules of government, the rules of business, the rules of religion. It's just very strict rules. It's very structured. It's, it's like, you have to wake up at 6. You have to be out of the house by 6:45. You have to be at work at 7:05. You have to be doing this. You get 10 minutes for a break. You get 15 minutes for lunch. You get, it's very much rules and regulations. And it doesn't necessarily feel right with this 3 of earth. And the thing about unity, it's also saying, though, it'll say, hey, maybe you need to check out something different. And again, I use a job more because it's an easy example. It doesn't mean that it has to be that. Okay. Traditional viewpoints or methods, spiritual organizations, seek out mentors and like-minded friends. So you need to be supported in your, I don't know, my Libra, is this a little bit of a rebellion? Is this a little bit of a change? Is this a breakout moment for you? Not telling you to quit your job. Please, never take that. But it is about maybe, if you always do what you always did, you'll always get what you always got. Maybe it's time to switch things up a little bit. Okay, next card here, reversed. Well, there you go. Awakening. Look at things differently. So we have a 12. And you add the 2 together, the 1 and 2, it becomes a 3. So 1, new beginning. 10, transition. 2 is choices, connections, decisions coming together. The awakening is the Hanged Man. Archangel Gabriel, so you could be hearing news. Awakening is a different way of looking at something. Again, there's a lot of breakout energy, and I started that even with this 3 of earth. So whoever this is for, It's like it's not doing the same old, same old. So if everybody expects you to bring stuffing or dressing, you're going to bring, so if they expect you to bring stuffing, you're going to bring the dressing, okay? If they expect you to bring dessert, you're going to bring the appetizer. If they, and that, I'm just going back to just traditional Thanksgiving. Again, there's a little bit of unexpected stuff, and it's really coming back down to your own creativity and letting your creativity blossom. Okay. Look at things from a different perspective. A temporary standstill. It's important to be yourself, my Libras. So we have a 3-5-1-2 or 3-5-3. You can look at it that way too. So let's see, John Holland, what does higher power in these cards? What does higher power have for my Libras? Yeah, it's a sense that it's just like, again, like I said, you're going through the jello up to about here, and it's like, no, maybe I need to warm this stuff up, and so it's a little easier. You're gonna, things are heating up around you, my Libras, and so that jello, we don't want it boiling, but we do want it maybe a little warmer so it's easier to trudge through. So let's see. Higher power for my Libras. Disruption. Now we have a 16, 1 and a 10. We know what that is. 6 is the number of man. It's the energy you put out there. You've made this. We have a 1-6. That's a 7. Divine umbrella, divine interference. This is the Tower card. This is, the disruption. This is not doing what everyone thinks you're going to do. There's a sense of freedom and a sense of freeing with this. I like this card when you really look at it. You look at it, and I know that he's being jiggle-joggled away, but he's kind of in a bondage right here. He's very tight, and things are breaking free for him. He's going to break free. He's going to break out of this in just a moment. Now, will he take the chance? Will he do this himself, or will he just stand there? Sometimes we can be prisoned by our own, like, well, no, I'm just going to stand here. But this is disrupting him. He's making some changes. He's going to come out of this a changed person. So something's happening for you. There's something happening. Maybe it's maybe you're, again, the awakening. You're looking at things differently. Maybe it's a new set of priorities. But there's a change. There's a change, and this weekend seems to be fueling the change. Okay, let's see. Angels of Abundance. What do we have? What advice do you have for our Libras? What do you have for our Libras? Here we go. Only card. This has been coming up a whole lot. I don't know if I like this. I think this just came up for Gemini too, but it is. I'm not going to try for another one. Successful funding. I think that this is the important part. Your idea is divinely guided and supported by the same infinite wisdom of God that gave you the idea. Do not allow money concerns to prevent you from turning it into reality. Crowdfunding, partnerships, and other investments are available to help you. So a lot of times it's kind of like when, I was 2018, my story. I'm being pulled out of where I'm at. And so people would ask, what are you going to do? Oh, I'm going to start reading cards on YouTube. You know what? Sometimes when God talks to you, it doesn't make sense. Okay, so let's see. What crystal or energy do we have for my Libras? What crystal or energy do we have for my Libras? But yeah, that card has been popping out a lot. So, reversed. Shungite. Okay, I love it anyway. It's black. I love all the black stones. Shungite is protection from modern ills, grounding, everyday healing, purifying. It's also very good for EMF, electric magnetic field. It's also protection from EMF waves, whatever that is. Okay, you know what it is. I know what it is too, but don't know if I said it right. Anyway, my Libras, again, you're doing something different. It's always interesting with my Libras. Okay, take a moment, please, to like, share, subscribe, and click on the bell. You help other people find my videos by doing that. I really appreciate it. I get a lot of people telling me, even though I've posted them all, they're on playlists and such, well, I can't find this video or that video. So it would be helpful. Thank you. As always, though, my Libras, besides happy Thanksgiving, always know that you are loved. Stay shining and be blessed. Bye-bye.